All right, so now let's go ahead and start to think about kind of this equation here, right? Well, the plus one, okay, just means you're shifting your parent function. I already drew our parent function. You're shifting it up one, right? So it's gonna look, oops, it's gonna look something like this. It's gonna pass through one though, which is our y-intercept, something like that. We know it's gonna be up, but the real question is, what in the world is this 2 doing to my equation, right? What is that? I don't know what that is. What is happening? I'm confused. I don't get it. And so I want to make sense of what that 2 is doing to that equation. You've probably seen an equation like this numerous of times, but what does that actually mean on a table and graph? Well, let's go ahead. So here we have these marbles. This is a stage number, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we have the number of marbles that, I don't know, some kid has, right? And so, well, there's 1 marble here, there's 3 here, and there's 5 marbles here, and there's 7 marbles there. So, kind of a natural question to ask you is, well, what do you notice happening to the marbles? What are they increasing by? And you'll notice they're just increasing by 2 every time, okay? 1 plus 2 gives me 3, 3 plus 2 gives me 5, 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So we're just adding by 2, and you'll see, oh, well, what is this number right here? It's a 2. So that's pretty much telling us then, this 2 is just telling us the number that we're adding by in every time we go in a sequential pattern. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Here, whatever we start off 1, we just adding by 2, and that's basically the pattern. So this 2 is telling us our rate of change or our slope. It's basically, you know what we are adding by every time. Okay. Well, what does that look like on the graph? Well, let's go ahead and graph it. So at 0, 1, we know it's going to be shifted up. At 1, it's 3. And at 2, it's 5. Okay. And let's go ahead and graph something. Let's go ahead and, that does not look like a line. Let's go ahead and graph that. Okay. It looks something like that. Now, because we're talking about marbles, it doesn't make sense. That's why it started with 0. It doesn't make sense to have negative marbles, right? But for the purpose of this lesson, I'll go ahead and just kind of continue to draw our function over here in the negative y value section. Again, it doesn't make sense to have negative values, but you'll see why I did that. So if we look here, all right, well, you'll notice it got shifted up, but look, it looks a little different than our blue line. I think it looks a little bit more slanted, right? It looks a little bit more slanted. And what does that mean? Well, if you look here, we pick these 2 points just for a moment, all right? And we do a rise over run. If you remember this from Algebra 1, rise over run. Oh, it should sound familiar. 2 over 1. What do you look at this number here? It's a 2. And so that tells us that we're doing a rise over run every time, 2 over 1. So if I wanted to, I could do 2 over 1 one more time, make my slope triangle, and I'll go ahead and just continue the line. And that's actually exactly how I drew this. I go, well, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. So you could see on the graph, it's just the slope. It's our slope triangle. On the table, it's what we're adding by, and that's essentially what we're doing with these slope triangles, all right? And that's what the 2 is. It's changing our slope of the graph. So let's look at another scenario with a negative slope. I changed up this scenario a bit to make a little more sense, right? So here's all the days that passed by, and this is dollars in your bank account. So let's say you started off with $1 in your bank account. Well, you got a late fee. All right, for those of you who have a bank account, you know, Bank of America, all these other places can give you kind of late fees. So if you kind of miss a payment or you have negative balance, and it can accrue negative, you could be owing them money. That's what the negative means. You owe them money. It's a scary kind of thing with banks, right? Because they come after you. But let's go ahead and make sense of this. Well, the negative 2, if we think about it, it's just basically we are adding by negative 2 every time. Adding by negative 2. 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5. Again, this number here is what we're going to be adding by every time to our table value. Still makes sense, except in this case, it's negative. Well, how does that look like on the graph? Well, let's kind of graph it. At 1, it's -1. At 2, it's -3. And at 3, it's -5. Okay, now, and you can see here, oh, that's a beautiful line. I did a great job there. Okay, it doesn't change. Our rise over run is still 2 over 1. Go down 1, 2, 2 over 1. 2 over 1. Except you'll notice, okay, maybe this is the biggest thing, and I'll maybe even highlight it even further. You'll notice that our equation is now, like the other video I showed you, it's in the opposite direction. Doesn't that make sense? We've reflected it. This is our parent function. With the negative, it's going to look something like this here, right? So now let me separate them. This is, right here is y equals x right here. Well, if you look at the previous video, y equals -x looks something like that. So when it has a negative, it's going to be in the opposite direction. It flips it, and that's what you see here. Now, to go ahead and continue our pattern, we'll just do, well, you know, 1 over 2 or 2 over 1, and just continue. Boom, up 1, 2, boom, up 1, 2. And we can just complete our graph like this, okay? And that's pretty much it. So hopefully that helps you to really understand, now that you have an equation, what this number here is and what this number does here, right? So to kind of make a generalization, let's go ahead. Y is equal to mx plus b, okay? This number here tells you how much we shifted our line up or down by. It's also the y-intercept, right? You'll notice it's always the y-intercept. It's always where it crosses the y-axis. This here, the m, represents our rate of change. It's what we're adding or subtracting by every time, or on the graph, it's our slope triangle. Okay? Hopefully, again, that helps you to understand these things over there. Cool. All right? Take it easy and have a good day.